Friends, hello everyone, you are on the Animal Instinct channel. We haven't had anyone from the most reckless weasel family on review for a while, so let's fix that. Today I want to tell you about the daring lover of digging in the ground, the badger. I hope you won't leave this black and white robber without your like, and our channel without a subscription, and we're already starting. Meet the badger, or rather, the European badger. After all, there are 8 other species in the badger subfamily. Among them are the American badger, the Javan badger, and even the pig badger. But today's story will be about the first 2 species. The European badger will be heavier and can reach a weight of up to 53 pounds, while its overseas relative is only 25 pounds. But as you know from the weasel family, weight doesn't matter at all. Besides, in cold regions, badgers hibernate in winter, adding another 50% to their weight. Speaking of hibernation, it's not very deep. And badgers often wake up in winter to go to their pantry and have a good meal, and they always plan such a place in their homes because badgers are excellent builders. They dig burrows and long, deep burrows. Often, their tunnels are on several tiers, have spacious rooms underground and many escape routes. Long, blunt claws on the badger's paws are great for digging the ground, and the wedge-shaped body with a narrow, elongated muzzle easily penetrates forward. So he builds his dwelling to the envy of all his neighbors. Often, a family of badgers digs whole underground catacombs and lives there for years, passing them down from generation to generation. By the way, it's pretty easy to tell badgers apart. The European badger looks like he wants to invite you for a cup of tea, but the American one is already waiting for you in the alley with a knife to take all your money. But seriously, the American badger has a lower and stockier body, its canines are longer, and its claws are more powerful than its European counterpart. And this smaller version of a wolverine, badgers eat absolutely everything they see. Worms, frogs, lizards, slugs, mice, everything goes. The European badger can even raid bird nests, the American one even more so. It attacks small animals. At the same time, they can eat plant foods. Both species are huge fans of carrion, which greatly helps the forest. Usually, a badger brings its prey to its burrow so it doesn't have to go far for food. By the way, these are very clean animals, and they regularly clean their home, taking out bedding and other garbage. So it's no surprise that other forest dwellers often try to get their hands on such a home. For example, foxes love to do this. Seeing an empty burrow, a fox climbs into it, and while no one is around, marks everything up nicely. The badger, though smelly himself, can't stand another animal's scent, so he sets out to build himself a new home. But if the burrow is already occupied, the fox has no chance. After all, the badger can easily chase it away, this time without even resorting to its main weapon, its powerful jaws. Even the European badger has fairly large fangs, capable of severely injuring an enemy, and this young fox definitely wouldn't envy him. Although, when he doesn't want to fight, the badger can just turn his back on the offender and calmly go about his business. He has thick skin that's hard to bite through, and in this way he resembles his African relative, about whom, by the way, there's already a video on the channel. The badger's fur is very stiff and has no value for poachers, so the animal's population is not currently threatened. But they are hunted, which, however, can be expensive for the hunters. After all, dogs are always used to lure the animal out, and in its burrow, the badger, like a fish in water, can outmaneuver the dog in tunnels and attack it from behind, or simply leave through an escape route, blocking it with earth. And if the dog is lucky enough to get out, it will remember the encounter with the badger for a long time. And here's how the American badger acts. He's always facing the enemy and ready to attack at any moment. At the same time, this stance doesn't prevent the animal from quietly retreating into the bushes, protecting itself from behind. In general, the American badger is a real gangster who's afraid of absolutely no one, because he's armed with huge fangs and long claws, which, by the way, reach a length of up to 5 centimeters. He crushes small rodents like nuts, and even if someone bigger, like a marten, disturbs him, it's better for them to quickly run away with their little paws. After all, the badger is not known for his patience. And this is what happens if an intruder gets into his burrow. And if someone distracts him from his favorite thing, the American badger simply loses all control. Even a mountain lion can get, and the smart cat immediately moved to a safe distance. But the badger himself easily manages in other people's homes, and no one will stop him from unceremoniously fishing in their burrow like this. Just look at that look. And an uninvited neighbor can just be buried with earth, so he knows exactly who's the boss here. You can do the same with a snake, and it won't dare attack such a cool neighbor. But someone he can be friends with is the coyote. Sometimes a coyote comes to visit his friend, and they go hunting for gophers together. The badger is great at digging, and no gopher can hide from such a digger. When he comes out to the surface, the coyote immediately grabs him. True, he doesn't share the prey, and this is a dubious friendship for the badger. That's why conflicts can flare up between them. And even when there are two coyotes, the badger is not at all afraid of them and drives away first one, then the other. And if someone hasn't had enough, then you can get another helping. What coyote? Even such a formidable predator as a wolverine respects this neighbor. After all, they both love, which means that a conflict of interest is inevitable. But the badger skillfully defends himself against two wolverines at once. He covers himself with stones and holds the line so the wolverine can't pull him out. Soon she realizes the futility of the fight and retreats. These guys are so fond of that they are ready to defend it no matter what. If the prey is not very big, you can quickly take it to your home together, with each badger carrying the carcass to his own burrow. And if this is impossible, then the badger resorts to cunning. He simply digs a pit around the find. This way, even a huge cow can be buried and neatly walled up underground. Well, after work you can relax. For the sake of prey, he can even try to take it away from a lynx. And when he succeeds, the badger again starts to hide it underground. He's not going to share with a golden eagle that has arrived, so they can't be called friends either. But the fact that the badger is not afraid of such a dangerous predator is certain. This little guy can single-handedly drive off even a herd of bison from his burrow, so he's not to be trifled with. That's all for today. I hope you enjoyed the video and learned something new. Then don't be lazy, give it a thumbs up. Write in the comments what other animal you'd like to see on review, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and don't forget to turn on notifications. And I'll say goodbye for now. See you soon.